I'm going to teach you 9 things that you need to know about Excel before you even open up a workbook. And I'm going to do it on your coffee break. Coming up. Hey guys, if you're new to my channel, my name is Andy Eitenauer. This channel is dedicated to teaching you ways of working smarter, not harder, whether that's at work or even at home. And I do that all for free. So the only thing that I would ask is that you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and even click the notification bell. Coming up on this video, I'm going to teach you the 9 things that you should know before you even open up an Excel workbook.
The first thing you should know about is columns, rows, cells, and ranges. First up, we have columns. So that's column A, column B, column C, and so on. Next, we have rows. So that's row 1, row 2, row 3, and you can basically keep going forever. If you've ever played Battleship, you're going to know that this is cell D7 because it's where column D and row 7 intersect. This is a range of cells that I can actually name. So if I go up there in the corner and type cars, I've just named that range of cells cars. So if I go up there in the corner again and type cars and hit enter, it's automatically going to select that same range of cells. You should also know the difference between being on a cell and inside of a cell. If I click on the cell that has text in it and just start typing, it's going to replace whatever was in the cell already. But if I double click on the cell, it's actually going to allow me to edit whatever text was in that cell previously. That's the difference between being on a cell and inside of a cell. There are differences in dragging, highlighting, and moving cells. You can highlight cells by left-clicking and dragging your mouse. By hovering over the bottom right-hand corner of any cell, you can click and drag any formula or text that is in that cell. You can move any cell or range of cells by hovering over the top and clicking and then dragging. Excel is extremely good at recognizing patterns. Let's say I want to add the months all the way across the top of my spreadsheet. All I need to do is type in January and then drag it all the way across through December and it autofills. Or let's say I want to fill column A with all numbers. Simply just add the first number and then drag it all the way down. Or you can add the first 2 numbers in any pattern and then click and drag it down. You'll also want to know how to resize columns and rows. You can resize a column by hovering over the middle of 2 columns and then clicking and dragging. Excel will automatically resize a column if you hover over the right side of it and then double click. If you adjust the font size in any cell, Excel is automatically going to adjust the height of the row. You can also manually stretch the row just like you would with a column. You should also know how to create and use multiple sheets within a workbook. When you open up a new Excel document, this is essentially the front and back cover of your new book. Just like in any new book, you can add as many blank pages as you want. I like to rename my sheets in order to keep them organized. I usually name the first page raw data because that's where I'm either inputting or pasting any raw data that I'm going to be looking to clean up moving forward. Typically, I'll name the second page sorted data because that's where I'll input any formulas, pivot tables, macros, or anything else that I'll use to clean up the raw data page. I typically name my third page the report page. This is where I'll pull any data from the sorted data page in order to make any charts or graphs or really anything else that makes the data really easy to read for somebody else. We'll get into all that stuff in different videos later on. You should get familiar with the whole ribbon, but specifically the Home tab. The Home tab on the ribbon page is going to be extremely important. This is where you're going to be able to bold, italicize, and underline font. You can also change the color of the cell, and you can also change the color of the font. This is also where you can add borders. If those options aren't enough, you can click in the bottom right-hand corner to expand more options. The alignment section is where you can align the text to either left, right, or center. You can also change whether it's at the top, the middle, or the bottom of the cell. You can also change the direction of the font. In the number section, you can change any old number to currency, to a percentage, or you can change it back to a number. You can also decide how many zeros are going to be after the decimal. We'll go over the other sections in the ribbon at a later time. You should know how to freeze the header row in Excel. A lot of times when you're looking at big data sets, it becomes difficult to remember which column you should actually be looking at, especially when your header row moves when you scroll the mouse. There's an easy way to fix that. Just click on the View tab, then from the ribbon bar, click Freeze Panes, then just click Freeze Top Row. Now, when you scroll through, you can see that your top row actually stays visible. You should definitely know that Excel was built for equations and formulas. In this video, I'm not going to get very in-depth about formulas. In fact, I'm only going to show you the most basic one within Excel, and that is the sum function. Let's say I want to add up all of the values in row 1 for all of the months of the year and put them in column M. The simplest way to do that is by clicking on the Formulas tab and then choosing Sum from the Auto Sum drop-down option. You can see that Excel automatically picks up all of the columns before your total column, and that's what it'll auto sum for you. So if I hit enter now, it should automatically total up all of those values. But what if I only want to total up the last 6 months of the year? I can actually manually enter that formula as well by typing the equal sign, then the word sum, and then opening parentheses, and then choose the cells that I want to total up, and then close the parentheses and hit enter. One more cool thing. Do you remember how I told you that Excel is extremely good at picking up patterns? If you drag this formula down to the other rows, it'll do the exact same formula for those rows as well. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button, click the bell notification, let me know you like the video, and if you learned something from this video, let me know that in the comment section below.